wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is working. Never stop searching, never quench the thirsty. I'm toxic and psychotic with this logic, you can't stop it. It's been chronic since I was a boy, so neurotic and chaotic.
I'm built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas. No, never stop competing, yeah.
I've been doing this, I'm on it, I just wanna be iconic. Sipping on a gin and tonic, got me going off when I'm on this topic, yeah. If I ever play, I want it, you know that I'm always honest. Stay away from those who are toxic, keep them out your face, no way, you don't want them, yeah. Don't try to drain my energy, the enemy is everything. It's mentally, unhealthily, spreading like a rare disease. But I won't let it get to me, I don't need your therapy. I can leave a legacy of leading by intensity. Come on, we can fight this, freedom is priceless. Spread just like a virus, living in a crisis. Do you feel courageous? Do you seek greatness? Trust me, you can take it, go on and take your aim, yeah.
I'm built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas. No, never stop competing, yeah.
Oh, baby, you don't know. We are back on a delay, on a hiccup. But when you have a whole freaking studio to run in here and have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different screens that you're all trying to get unison, stuff happens, life happens, you get chit chat and talking, and stuff starts falling. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here. We are live. We are the Value Wrestling. I am joined by Mr. Paulus, Clarke, the big man, Mr. Z, with about half a voice left over. And of course, you know me, I'm the big time, I'm the medium-sized man. This is a party that's three-man power trip into his house. And ladies and gentlemen, it's a night to celebrate, because I'm going to tell you this right now. The PCW Inter-California champion and the reigning, defending, undisputed 372 plus day reign of the SPW heavyweight champion, Illumide. The Dart Fox Illumide continues on as he put that crazy clown in the ground. And maybe for now, that creepy clown will go away for a while. But yes, last night, SPW Ghouls, Frights, and Wrestling Tights, a damned packed house. It was standing room only. They were about to hang out from the rafters. This place was packed, and if it would have been a cold night, we'd all been nice and toasty due to all the body heat, but it was a little bit warm last night in that building. And the Value Wrestling, now the official home for SPW action, because we are going to be streaming all of the big events for SPW right here on the Value Wrestling YouTube channel. We are a part of the SPW family. We have joined together and are going to bring you the very best in SPW action right here as we streamed it last night. Now, hey, we did it on a webcam last night, so please forgive us. We see what we're going to do. We have cameras now. We're working on little last things to tweak, but next presentation should be just that much better, because what you do is you learn from your mistakes and you get better, and we're going to get better every time. And if you haven't gone and watched that amazing event, Ghouls, Frights, and Wrestling Tights from SPW Supreme Pro Wrestling, Sacramento's own best independent company, California's best independent company. I don't care who you are. It's just a matter of fact. Some of the biggest names in the business have come through SPW, and there's plenty more that are going to come. So we always got to be always ready. But SPW was a fun event last night. It was packed to the rafters, packed to the brim. It was wild and crazy. The crowd was hot. The debut of All Day Crew, Aiden Andrew and Bryce Kuza. Wow, just having the fans ravenous as the All Day Crew was so beloved last night. Taking the Honor Society on their 20th anniversary to the brink of defeat. They were fingertips away from capturing those SPW tag team titles in their very first match. What a night. And of course, Lumine beating Jekylls from one corner to another in an amazing match. We got to see the appeal in THC, which leaves a lot of interesting after Dante Daring turned on his partner Chima at the end of that match. The High Council may be no more. We're going to have to wait and find out. So much to talk about, but this is your Monday Night Raw post-show review. We are still excited. Me and the big man here, we're still excited, still lit up from last night's show. How we're still talking, I don't know. If you watched the end of that, I mean, we were screaming, hooping, and hollering. We were on the edge of our seats to see if Illuminate was going to come out on top, and that man did. The Obsidian Adonis, the Dart Fox, our good buddy Illuminate. And if you don't know, you should know, and you need to get to know real quick and real fast who that man is, because that is a rising star in the business. Not only that, I got to go back. All Day Crew, the future of tag team wrestling. We're going to keep an eye on them. They're just getting started with SPW. Can't wait to see where they go. Gentlemen, how are we feeling tonight? All right. Nobody says anything.
I'm pointing at Mr. Clarke. Let him go first because I'm going to go on a tangent here in a second. Ow.
Well, light it up and burn it down, my brother, from another mother. It's party time right here on the Value of Wrestling. Give them all you got to give before we jump into this Monday Night Raw review.
After last night, incredible. Beyond incredible. Packed house. People were still filing in midway through the Battle Royal, grabbing chairs from the back. I mean, we had to sit there and tap nicely on the shoulders for people to move so they could get a clear view of the ring last night. And at the All Day Crew, as you said, future tag team wrestling, that was a young and hungry team. And then the Dark Fox, the Obsidian Adonis, still proving why he is a dominant SPW champion and maybe, just maybe, the next stop on the Choppy World Tour.
And we can't forget we got a battle royal, a costume battle royal that was more lit than anything. I mean, the people who were here, we got redacted. Vince McMahon in a wheelchair. He got attacked by Mankind. And Porg, Stone Cold Porg, knocked him over the head with a bedpan. The Devil, Mike Miller, Mr. Miller, the SPW president was there. It was lit. We saw Cactus Jack, Dude Love, and Commissioner Mick Foley. 4 faces of Foley, something even WWE was never able to pull off. They gave us 4 faces of Foley with the Commissioner going over. We had the fun of the Acclaimed showing up. And we got Daddy Frost or Frosty Ass, whichever way you want to go with that there. I can't wait to see our good buddy, the big man, the force of nature, Drake Frost, one part of that huge faction for 20 years. The Honor Society has been going strong. Drake Frost, we're going to have to get together and scissor me, Daddy, one more time. It's going to be a fun time, ladies and gentlemen. SPW, always great. 3rd Sunday of every month. Next show coming up is in the end of November. Does Tiffany cash in at Crown Jewel? We will talk about that in a little minute. Little Fettuccine 68. But we're going to talk about Raw and all the other wonderful things. But man, Illumide, 372 plus days as SPW champion. The question is he the longest reigning SPW champion? We're going to have to dig deep into the history books of SPW. We're going to have to see the record keeper. Not the crypt keeper, but maybe the record keeper. To see if he's getting close to that reign. Has he surpassed that reign? And if he hasn't, who has that reign?
Well, Well, we'd have to ask the sexy grandpa. He might know.
Well, I said we have to check with the record keeper, so I mean, we'll get there.
Oh, by the way, sexy grandpa section super over with the fans.
The sexy grandpa section was crazy. They grabbed up all the signs before the show even really got off the ground. They went out faster than hotcakes at the IHOP, faster than waffles down at your local Waffle House if you're living deep in the South. And you know your boys, if we ever travel to the South, make sure you take us over to that Waffle House because we love ourselves a little bit of that waffly house. Who should be the next leader of for Judgment Day? Why are we worried of it? That should be Finn Balor right now. We will talk about that in a minute. Raw, let's get into it. We can come back to all together. Great stuff. Let's get into Monday Night Raw. I would say it opened up hot. We saw Big Bronson Reed walking down the hallway to seeing somebody running behind him. We couldn't tell who it was until he was on top of him, and it was the one and only, the architect, freaking Seth Rollins, who we saw last night. Yes, we saw our own version of Seth Rollins in the house with that beautiful blue WWE Championship. But no, Seth Rollins last night, or tonight, came down, attacked Bronson Reed, started off the show hot, beating him down, making that build towards that match a lot more fun. We did get the announcement that Lillian Garcia is back to being a ring announcer, and Samantha Irvin is no longer with WWE. And through Ricochet's own words on X, she is not coming to AEW. So all you little AEW people who we respect and enjoy, he's not coming there. Got to play nice, Mr. Z. We're moving up in the world of wrestling. We got to play nice with everybody because we never know when the next big break will come. You know, there might be that day we finally get invited backstage to AEW, and I at least want to be able to, Tony Khan at least listen to us and not just think we're just, people like JD from NY,
Jeez.
Oof.
Man, they had to
We actually want Dax to like us.
Dax does his own shit. It's not I just, I'm not impressed with AEW's the way they do things. I'd love the opportunity to talk to Tony Khan. I would like the opportunity to Tony Khan to come on this channel and talk it out with us. Tell us what you're thinking, so maybe we can better understand what your presentation is supposed to be, what it is that you're trying to bring. Are you only booking for the sickos? Is that really what you've settled for now? I don't know if that's good business, but hey, I just at least like the opportunity to talk to him before we just, bury him 6 feet under +1.
Oh, so what we're trying to do is sit under the learning tree?
You can go sit under the learning tree all day. You can plant your sequoia roots next to the big redwood.
I just gotta get Mr. Clarke and the facial expressions.
Bro.
It's great.
Bro.
Oh, bruv, here we go.
Bro. Mr. Clarke is going to quit in the middle of the stream. He's going to be like, I'm out. Anyways.
What are you talking about, Botoski?
We get all that wonderful stuff to open the show. Lillian Garcia back. Samantha Irvin out the door. Who knows why? Maybe there's some personal reasons. Doesn't matter why. Not really. We wish her the best of luck in her future endeavors. We wish her and Ricochet the best in their future endeavors. Maybe they're going to go start a family. Congratulations, Schumann. That's their goals. Who knows? I don't care. But even Ricochet saying that she's not coming to AEW, which I'm pretty sure is probably not really the part. And of course, if she would have to have some gap in that before she gets there. So we'll see. Everybody jumping on Stephanie Valcour right now, calling her a traitor. And it seems like Tony Khan is going to make different rules if he uses anybody from different companies that if you're on an AEW show, you can't sign a WWE contract for so many days. Anywho.
She was not under contract to AEW. She got released from CMLL. Tony Khan needs to get over it.
Yeah, that's got a trip. Don't get mad because she wanted to go somewhere where she knew she was going to get presented as a big star.
Exactly. That's all that matters. Tony Khan must be in his thing because he's even getting into it with JD on Twitter. That's just bizarro. I don't know what is going on with Tony Khan. Anyways, let's get through Raw. We can get to Raw. We can talk about what's going on tomorrow night on NXT because NXT making big history. tomorrow. We can get an SPW action. We can get in wrestling news. Let's get through this Monday Night Raw as quickly and proficiently as we can. Tag team match, number one contenders tournament continues as the New Day takes on the Authors of Pain with Paul Ellering. Not a whole lot to say in this match. It was a basic match. In the end, the New Day picking up the R-Truth comes down because the Miz and the rest of the Final Testament come down. R-Truth comes down to attack Miz on the floor, distracting Ray Shar, who gets rolled up by Kofi Kingston in the cheapest roll-up I've seen for a big boy. Why do they keep burying the Authors of Pain, who should just be dominant monsters? Why did the Authors of Pain sign these contracts to come back to be, again, jobbers to the stars? When are we going to let these men get over and be the dominant tag team that we know they are? Come on, let's go back to NXT. When they were in NXT, they were a powerhouse to be reckoned with. The main roster, they've never been allowed to shine. They're always losing in the most stupidest, dumbest ways, just like tonight, getting rolled up by Kofi Kingston because he got distracted by R-Truth. It's just like, it's not believable. I don't buy it. It makes the credibility of the Authors of Pain look stupid. R-Truth eats a beatdown.
But he got beat by a former WWE champion.
R-Truth gets beat down by Cross. The Miz and AOP, they all beat down. And Kofi wants to get back in the ring. Kofi's like, no. Or Kofi wants back in the ring. Xavier's telling him, no, it's not our problem. And then the music hits, and the Wyatt Sick are back. Nikki Cross on the corner splashes on Scarlett, that's the first time, I think that's the most action she's seen in the WWE ring, at least on this go around. Fight breaks out. The Wyatt Sick take everybody down. The Miz is hiding in the ring like the coward Bryan Danielson once said he was. And then we see Uncle Howdy finally show up. He was about to go after the Miz, but Paul Ellering shoves the Miz out of the way and takes a mandible claw. Beautifully done. The gloves, the whole 9 yards. The match was decent. Made AOP look stupid. The Wyatt Six coming out and attacking it. I don't know how you cannot love what the Wyatt Sick are doing. Are they after the Final Testament? Are they after Miz? It looked like Uncle Howdy was going to go for Miz, but Paul Ellering taking the big mandible claw, taking the pain. This story's getting interesting. If you're not paying attention, everybody carrying Cross is touched or talked to or facilitated. We may look at Karrion Kross and say he's not really doing much. They're burying the Final Testament. But the storyline that's going to be long-term booking, we know that Karrion Kross has manipulated or gotten into Xavier Woods' head. We see the change in Xavier. It's somewhat minute, but there's a change in Xavier's that I think will lead back eventually to Karrion Kross. And there's a change in The Miz. It looks like he snapped out of it when the Wyatt Six came down, but there was something kind of funky going on with The Miz. He's coming down the ring with the Final Testament, but old Miz came out when he was cowered in the middle of the ring, so I don't know if he broke out of the trance, but there is something going on. You need to watch what's going on with the Final Testament, and I hope in this feud with the Wyatt Six, this is going to be built. The only thing that hurts here is, can you get the Final Testament to get over on the Wyatt Six without hurting the Wyatt Six? It's going to be, there's a lot of convoluted. Can we get a true Survivor Series team match right here? Final Testament, Wyatt Six Survivor Series, traditional Survivor Series tag match. Could that happen? Be interesting to see what they're going to do here. Gentlemen, your thoughts on this opening tag match? And I'm losing that voice again, but hey, it's okay. We love doing what we do every time we come on this channel. If you want passion, this is the place for passion. Unless it's AEW. Then we really try to find the passion, but it's just like, you know, it's like being that little bug and just kept getting stomped on. You know, you try to survive, but we won't go there right now. Anyways, gentlemen, tell me what you thought about this tag team match, the Fallout, the Wyatt Six, all the craziness, a hot start to Raw after the tag team match.
Go ahead, Mr. C.
Well, overall, I mean, it was a hot start. I mean, I could have done without the sissy roll up. They could have done something a little more there. But just to see how the Wyatt Six come out, present themselves in a way to take out the monsters of the Final Testament was a good thing. It could potentially build into something. We don't know. The Miz, honestly, that's what I thought when Uncle Howdy went in there. I thought that's who he was going for. Instead, you know, Paul Ellering, unfortunately, gets the mandible claw, and it stops from there. But I'm with you big time as far as presenting AOP as once they was what they once were, which was monsters, a dominant tag team. They have not been presented that way anymore, and it's kind of sad.
Very true. Mr. Clarke, your change on this
Okay, I
one.
got a question. In a sports perspective, why is a roller considered sissy? A win is a win, especially if you ain't got other shenanigans going on. Is it? And, it's not as impactful as a finishing maneuver and then getting the 1-2-3. I understand that, but why is it looked down upon if someone gets a roll up?
Well, for the person who did it, it came off very heelish to me. It's like a coward's way out. Like, oh crap, let me just roll him up, throw him in, done.
Okay.
And then poor Paul Ellering. Why are we bullying Paul Ellering? That man has been in the business too long to be taking mandible claws. Come on now.
It was probably the safest bump he could
I don't
take.
know what kind of trash he talks. True.
That's fair. That is fair.
What do you want him to do? You want him to take a mandible claw or go through a table? You want him to get thrown over the announce table or take a mandible claw? I mean, the mandible claw, it's just, it's a little painful in the mouth, but he does kind of lay you down on the mat, so it's not like, a horrible bump.
The point of Paul Ellering was to be the mouthpiece for AOP, but the mouthpiece of the stable at the moment is carrying Cross. So what role does Ellering really have at this point?
He's Ted DiBiase in the NWO after Bischoff joined.
Oh.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Oh.
Even Mr. Clarke's trying to find anything to give him reason. He's like, yeah, I got nothing. I see it's written all over his face. He's like, no, yeah, okay. Tell me when I'm telling lies. Anyways, for me, I go back. The roll up in this match is just like you've got a really big guy against a smaller guy. I know he's a former world champion, but it's the optics of looking at it like, you're telling me that big man can't roll himself. Is he really that big of a turtle? Because that's just what I see. Turtle. It's just like, I get the distraction, but that was really like, why are you distracted by R-Truth Razor? He attacked Miz, really. It was kind of like, it just, I don't know. I get why they're doing it. They wanted to push the New Day on. They're feuding probably the Final Testament with the Wyatt Six. So I get why things happen, but it's just kind of like, it's like, And again, I just want to see these two men who are presented in NXT as dominant monsters to feel like they're dominant monsters. Like we crap on Tony, who can't book big guys. Triple H should know how to build big guys. Luckily, we're kind of getting a decent Braun Strowman, nowadays. And then Bronson Reed is definitely a big man that's getting over, but it's still like we can do it for more than just a handful at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Jackie Redmond's backstage with Adam Pearce, asking him how he's going to keep everything under control. He won't, as Rollins and Reed continue the violence and continue to fight. We see the clip of the Wyatt Six fighting and throwing everybody. This whole place was just being torn upside down. Raw was out of control. The inmates are running the asylum. If you're watching this Monday Night Raw on all ends, Adam Pearce is losing control. What does this mean? Because we're seeing this history pattern. We keep seeing that Adam Pearce is either saying, I need a drink, which has kind of died away, or we're seeing a bunch of like, are you going to be able to control it? I want control. Adam Pearce seems to be letting everybody do what they want, granted, but at the same time, it seems like the inmates are running the asylum and Adam Pearce is losing control. There is a small storyline I see developing here. I don't know if anybody else is seeing it, but there seems to be this recurring pattern, especially with Seth and Bronson Reed, but it also plays into the other thing. Now you got the Wyatt Six running roughshod. By the end of the night, you had a Timu bloodline out here running roughshod, causing all types of problems, and everything was out of control. What are your gentlemen's thoughts on all this?
Go ahead, Mr. Clarke.
I'm still in wait to see what happens. Long-term booking, obviously, Adam Pearce has been saying he needs a drink, like not being able to control stuff. So, yeah. Where it's going though is still the questioning. Are we eventually going to get, a different GM? Is that where we're heading? I don't see them using Adam Pearce as a wrestler anytime soon. So I just don't know. I just have to wait to see where it goes storyline beat wise.
I'm sorry, if they use Adam and Pierce as a wrestler before they use Nick Aldis, they might have a lot of people turn against him.
Right.
So, unless you're going to do Adam Pearce versus Nick Aldis to be the GM, commissioner, whatever title they want to be of both brands. If Adam Pearce may be going into a different position.
Oh, let's not do that again for a while.
Huh?
I like having separate GMs.
Well, I see an angle being built here. I don't know if it's just craziness to build craziness, but I'm assuming even if you just have craziness for craziness sakes, you have to build to some type of reasoning. This is WWE. This is WWE, not AEW, where we're just like, yeah, this shit just happens on a daily basis for no random reason. People get choked out in the back, but it's the safest place to work in professional wrestling. Hell, I won't even say SPW is the safest place to work because referees, security, announcers, all getting taken out by a man named Jekyll's. He took out people last night. Even Illumide took out one of the referees. It was all over the place. The place was just falling apart. But hey, you know what?
Wait, you did have security. Remember that. They did offer up security last night so he could get nowhere near our table.
He didn't come anywhere near us. He didn't even notice I was there because he knows I was sitting in the corner. He knew that repercussions would be paid. Jekyll's fears the big time. That's a fact. Take that check to the bank. Jekyll's knows he messed with the wrong.
This is questionable.
He didn't come to confront me. He knew. Hey, easy to talk from a room in Utah too. Yeah.
You don't see me talking that kind of trash.
Yeah. Well,
it's okay, Jekyll.
Back on what you guys are talking with.
I got you, Jekyll's. It's Jekyll's. How about a handicap match? Me and my mystery tag team partner versus you, Jekyll's. Yeah.
Oh no.
I got a big tag team. I got a big man to tag with.
Look at angry Chima. Now to piggyback on the possibilities of maybe a Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce match would be great, but I kind of enjoy the dual GMs. I mean, hell, we could go as far as just supremacy with how they did for bragging rights, where you had brand against brand in the Survivor Series style match just to brag about it. But every time that things get out of control, Adam Pearce is like, "Oh, I need a drink." Now stop talking about that, sir, because now you're making me thirsty, and it's only Monday.
Unless the ultimate idea, or well, not the ultimate, but one of the ideas is for Adam Pearce to lose his role as GM and bring up Ava.
Maybe.
Could it happen? I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if that did.
I don't know. The final boss might have something to say about that. You never know.
No, don't summon that man right now. Let him enjoy himself.
Yeah, no, anything is possible.
I'm just saying, if you want to talk about giving someone the role of nepotism.
Very, very true. We'll have to wait and see how it all goes down right here. But moving forward, Kathy Kelly's backstage with Jey Uso, who's going to pin his Intercontinental title, and Bron Breaker, Jey Uso, episode 2. Yes, we're going to have the second of that tournament. Oh, the Year of Worlds just yeeted live on camera. Did you people catch that? It was a brief moment, but he just yeeted. The Year of Worlds out here yeeting tonight. I don't even think Mr. Z caught it.
Nope, he was looking down.
I had up in the mother. I got you.
Raquel Rodriguez says Rhea Ripley will never win the women. Will never get the women's championship back as long as she's around. Big Mommy Cool. Me, adele. Anyways.
Híjole!
Arriba?
Arriba. Meep, meep. In the little Shimai. Anyways, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez teamed up tonight to take on Damage Control's Io Sky and Kairi Sane. A decent match here, not a whole lot to talk about. Eventually, the match ended in disqualification as Damage Control wins. Jackson and Legend were in the crowd, and they hit their finisher on Iro and Kairi Sane to continue their feud. Rhea Ripley came down, and she tried to interfere. Dirty Dom came down, got locked into the Prism Trap. Eventually, they set Dirty Dom free, and they all went running. Backstage, Adam Pearce is on a phone. I mean, do you guys have anything? Go ahead.
Kim, I just gotta say this, because Dom is such a chicken-ish heel and plays it so well, it makes so much sense for him to get locked in that submission. I enjoy that she's big enough and he's a smaller man for that to happen. It just makes more sense instead of her trying to lock it on someone the size of a Damian Priest or somebody.
That's fair.
Adam Pearce is back.
I think Dom's doing so well. I'm considering buying a shirt of him.
Adam Pearce is on a phone call, which is interrupted by Rollins and Reed fighting again. Pearce eventually breaks them apart and says, look, you two are going to fight at Crown Jewel. So we have a match for Crown Jewel on top of Gunther taking on Cody Rhodes and Liv Morgan taking on Nia Jax. We are now going to get Rollins and Reed. We get a video package. The War Raiders look back to their Viking ancestry experience for inspiration, so we get a video package about them. Judgment Day today is backstage discussing issues. Carlito's still having a whole lot of issues with everything. Finn Balor thinks they should be focused on the world champion. Dom suggests he would be a world champion, and people laugh. Carlito says he brings the cool factor and is also the fixture around here. So, Dom's the daddy. Finn's the leader and Carlito's the fixer. What is JD? And Raquel's the big mommy cool and Liv's the women's champion. So I mean, there you go. Speaking of the World Tag Team title, me. Yes. Speaking of World Tag Team titles, we had the next match in the tournament. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee teamed up as part of the LWO to take on American-made Brutus and Julius Creed. In a good, solid match. Zelina stares down. Zelina, at one point, I think she throws her shoe. I didn't catch what she threw. I know she threw something at Ivy Nile and them. Well, that would have been her flip-flop, her shoe, yeah. Zelina stares it down. Ivy gets runner near the hydration station. Julius sits into the ropes. Ray hits a 619. Liam up top hits a big splash, and the LWO wins. You feel kind of sad for American-made. 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 Yeah. American-made. Yeah, anyways. They take another loss here. But Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee moving on to the next part of this tag team tournament. Go ahead.
I also understand the point of repackaging the Creed brothers into American-made if they're just going to kind of keep losing. It's like, we got all this hype and there's all this potential for American-made, but what are we doing with them?
Did you?
Why are they the stepping stone right now?
Did you say American-made, American-made, American-made? I wish they would have never came up with that tag team because I'm always going to be American males, American males, American males, American males. It's just like, give me American made. Mr. Z, your thoughts on this match?
Yeah, I gotta say it was impressive seeing Dragon Lee fly through the middle ropes. That man could go. But like you said, you have a team like the Creed brothers who are so pure as far as athletic ability. Mm-hmm. And we're just going to present them as a joke tag team and let them take the L's. That doesn't make no sense to me.
No, it's very
true. When they first came up to the main roster, I kind of understood in the sense that, okay, they got to pay their dues on the main roster. But at this point, why?
Right.
They get to be American made, American made, American made, American made. Anyways, Pierce promises Damage Control.
Someone's looking up that intro.
To start this feud eventually to build the Royal Rumble, and then enter WrestleMania with Bron Breakker. That's that direction I think it should go. But I mean, why not have a Goldberg return in a Dirty Dom match? Because at least Goldberg beating Dom pretty quickly in 5 seconds would make sense on the whole world. Wouldn't really hurt Dominic. Would get the fans a pop, and put Goldberg back on that path he needs to be. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
You're telling truth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be great.
I don't know if I want to see Dom get ripped in half by a spear.
But my question is,
That's not even PG.
Dom might be the closest person to take a spear and sell it like The Rock. That's what I want to see. Can Dom outsell the spear? Because The Rock sold that like it was a motherfucking yes.
The Rock knew how to sell moves, period. Like the way he would sell a stunner, the way he sold Goldberg's spear.
Anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
But who else has sold Goldberg's spear as well as The Rock? That's all I'm saying.
-4.
I think Dom would be very interested to take that spear to how he reacts afterwards.
When I think of Dom taking a move, I think of when he took Beth Phoenix finisher and he's screaming "mommy" at the top of his lungs before he dropped. I'm like, all right, you got me. He sells me on selling these moves. You're right. I want to see shoes leave his feet if this happens.
I want to see, that would be great. I want to see Dom in the ring thinking he's going to beat somebody, and out comes Goldberg. He runs out of the ring and slides out. It's hiding behind Liv. Just to see Raquel Rodriguez, Big Mommy Cool, me, get up in Goldberg's face like she's going to do something. And then Goldberg to go like chase him off, or Rhea Ripley to come off and chase him off. Dom's going to wind up in the ring with Goldberg still standing there, and then he's going to do that slow turn and bam! That would be a good one. I figured it'll probably be a Damian Priest.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be a Kofi Kingston. No, wait, Kofi Kingston wasn't a world champion. He did say a world champion. He was a WWE champion, technically. But again, technicalities are technicalities in the world of professional wrestling. I hope it's not Priest. I've seen it, done it.
Yeah.
Goldberg would still work, though.
Oh, it could be Rey Mysterio. That's true. But Rey's in the tag team tournament match, so I don't know. But they left it open-ended, so we can't wait till next week to see who is it going to be. Jackie talks to Bron Breakker. Breakker says he's going to win. We talked to Gunther. Gunther's going to win. Yada, yada, candy corn and pumpkin pies for everybody. Nothing a whole lot there. It was what it was. I mean, they were just quick little promos. I mean, Bron Breakker's not the best. Gunther does really well, but it's just the same stuff. Not a whole lot to really dig in deep there. For you tonight, so they're having fun.
I think the only thing I get tired of. Yeah.
Good filler. Like that's it.
Only thing I get tired of is if Bron Breakker has to tell you that he's a badass, he doesn't look like a badass.
No, and I'm
show us. You want to talk about the super spear? How about do one? He could do it in NXT. I don't understand why it's not translating in the ring on main roster. Character-wise, that's another thing.
Fudge in Hopper's corn.
It has the tools. I don't understand why he's not doing it.
What in the heck of candy-coated Fruit Loops and Cheerios and sandbagging cornholios is a freaking super spear? Did this mother trucker eat the magic mushrooms before he came out for his match? Is he freaking Mario? Is he Luigi? What the hell is a super spear? What is this? Uri does a super spear. It's a spear. Why are we putting super spear on it? It wasn't even that impactful. Like, if it's super spear, I should see people losing their shoes. It should feel like it's super. No, why are we calling this a super spear? Please get rid of that. It's not super. He didn't eat any magic mushrooms. He didn't go to be 20 feet tall. Oh my God, they were pissing me off. The super spear. I'm like, what?
I believe what they're going for is when he bounces off the ropes and does the spear. I know that's what creates the super part of it. But I understand where you're coming from.
It's stupid.
Even when he's bouncing off the ropes, it still ain't any better.
It's stupid. I mean, Roman's done the super spear then. I mean, it's stupid. It's a super spear. Like, give me a frucky Jesus hoop loops. Anywho's. And then what is Bron Breakker doing when he goes for the super spear now? Does he have a freaking twitch? And not a Twitch channel, but he's got like this weird Twitch where he's going. He's not hitting himself or punching himself in the face. He's just and then yay! I'm like, why is he looking like a retard?
It's an attempt, I guess, to be some kind. WWE has this thing about we want to show you signals. What's coming up? The fact that Drew McIntyre still does that 3, 2, 1, bit.
But it makes sense.
I don't know
why. It makes sense. This doesn't make sense.
I
don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's having like a twitch. I don't know if he's having a seizure. I don't know if he thinks he's Mercedes Monet in the brief moments and he's trying to do the Monet dance. Nobody's showing him how to do it right. I don't know what this. He doesn't even touch himself. Like if he was doing this, getting himself hyped up, it would make sense. He's just like, super spear, yeah. And I'm like, you look like a bigger joke. They say super spear, he looks even stupider. He's stupid stuper. He's stupid stuper. Super stupid. There we go. Anyway, Jey Uso defends his Jey Uso defends his Intercontinental title against Bron Breakker in a match that just kind of made everything go poo-poo. Poodoo. And ladies and gentlemen, better get ready because I'm sure Mr. Z's waiting on X right now. He's searching this, he's scanning because he's waiting for Rikishi to throw a hissy fit. Somebody's got to get their whatever they call those thongs, Yoko, whatever they wear, the trunks is going to get theirs in a tidy whitey wad up there. Anywho, Jey and Breakker going at it. The bloodline of Timu, Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu show up on one side. Jey wants to know what they're there for. Solo's like, we're just trying to help you win. Jey gets knocked down. He's over in the corner. And out comes Tongaleo. And then Jey takes care of Tongaleo. And then Tama Tonga comes flying out going, die. I'm like, what in the fuck is wrong with this man? What have they done to the Gorillas of Destiny here in WWE? What is this? As he's flying off the barricade, he gets taken down. Solo's trying to figure out what's going on. He's confronting Jey. Here comes Bron Breakker with the run around the ring spear, which would be more of a super spear than the stupid. Did they give participation trophies to everybody in that age group? Did just Bron Breakker in every sport, they just gave him a trophy no matter what he did? Anywho, I'm gonna have a seizure on film because he's driving me nuts. Anyways, anywho, so Bron Breakker comes running around the ring, and he does a spear, but he jumps so freaking high, he winds up clotheslining Solo Sikoa. It wasn't a spear; it was like a clothesline. I'm like, that didn't look good. Eventually, Pierce comes down, drags away half of the bloodline, forgets the other half of the bloodline. The Gorillas of Destiny. Tama Tonga, Tongaleo get taken in the back, but he leaves Jacob Fatu there. Jacob Fatu takes out Jey Uso. Samoan drops him across the announce table. And then Bron Breakker gets all giddy and happy and throws Jey Uso in the ring. Hits the super spear. To get a win over Jey Uso just to get his belt back after a couple weeks. Now Bron Breakker's a two-time Intercontinental Champion that doesn't deserve the belt. Doesn't look like an impressive champion. And Jey Uso loses just to move him on into the storyline so they can drag him in so he can be there for the bloodline. And that's how we're going to get Jey Uso back to help out the family. He's going to be there. This is the story. I'm not necessarily happy that they had to use the Intercontinental Champion to tell this story. Why take it off of Bron Breakker You hurt Bron Breakker taking it off of him and put it back on him. Now he's a 2-time Intercontinental Champion and has done nothing really impressive to deserve it except his super spear. The next version.
It's the stupor spear.
The next version of Feed Me More. Feed me more. It's gonna be Super Spear.
Oh no, he went there.
Tell me when I'm telling lies. Monday Night Raw ends on a note that was not probably the best situation. I don't know why you gave the title to Jey Uso. I don't know why we have to call in Bron Breakker a 2-time now Intercontinental Champion. It kind of makes me want to vomit in my mouth. And he has this super spear. Next week he'll be out there going, by the power of Great Skull. Yay, super spear.
Oh, gee.
Go ahead. I've ranted. I've screamed. I've shouted.
Redacted? I mean, what?
I feel like Redacted's running some of this shit when you got that crap going on. When our rings combine, we all bring the power of the super spear.
I don't even know where to go with all that.
Soon we'll get the super duper team of stupidity. Ryback will be teaming up with Bron Breakker, and you can be Feed Me More.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on this Raw review show. I have made them both just go blah. Mr. Cart doesn't even know where to take this story from here. Mr. Z's like, I gotta find what Rikishi's doing. Yeah.
He's not on there yet, so we're okay.
Why don't we, since we've covered Raw, why don't we go back to the question? Does Tiffany catch in the crown jewel, at crown jewel, excuse me?
No. I don't think there's any reason for it
I think
there.
they're gonna tease that longer.
Yeah.
Herself.
It's gonna be more of an action. I don't even know. Again, what if Nia Jax loses the title and then takes the briefcase away from Tiffany Stratton and uses the cash in? I still want to see somebody steal the briefcase. Can we get that storyline? I want to know what happens. They've had too many storylines recently where there's a possibility. I could see Nia Jax losing her title, taking the briefcase, knocking out Tiffany, turning it in, cashing it in to get a second chance. And it would make sense. If Tiffany's going to get there, it's going to be more closer to...
All right, so what's your idea, Mr. Z?
So you think we're crickets? You think everybody's dead? Nobody's here? Are you at an AEW show? So you're calling us an AEW show by playing the crickets? Is that what you're saying, sir?
No, you mentioned Nia Jax winning, possibly, stealing a briefcase, cashing it in. Nobody wants to see her do that.
Yes, but you know what? Nia Jax is more over than Mercedes Moné. Hell, Nia Jax is more over than AEW is right now. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
You're right.
On one hand, she's doing the best work of her career, but damn.
And Tony Khan, if you don't like that one, you can chime in the chat and we can discuss it. The other question, who should be...
They'll probably pay us one day just to stop talking about AEW.
You can't see. It's like that dumpster fire going down the highway. It's just one of those things you got to stare at and you got to talk about because it's there. You can't just avoid it. Like, it's there, so you got to be like, oh my gosh. You kind of want to turn your eye and be like, I'm not going to acknowledge it, but somebody's going to acknowledge it because it's there. And it's like screaming for attention. AEW is that perennial 5, 6, 7-year-old that just is always screaming.
We had to see the giant redwood from the learning tree who looks like a porta-john when he works in the ring. We had to put up with that. That was a disastrous piece to see.
AEW is always going to be that perpetual crying child that's always there, like, look at me. I mean, AEW is bad as that kid that learns his first joke and just keeps telling it over and over and over again, and then everybody's just like, yay, this is AEW. This is what's happened to you, Tony Khan. You keep trying to do the same thing over and over again, and you really have. I mean, we went from Elite Takeover to the BCC Takeover. Tell me the difference, except the characters. Like, we just swapped out the characters. Because you screwed Okada.
Who drew a bigger crowd?
You're trying
Chris
to
Jericho or AEW Dynamite?
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that was your Monday Night Raw review.
So,
Yes. A needle pulling thread. Paw, a longer way to run.
just trying to move on.
Ladies and gentlemen,
We don't want to get me started on how they present Okada, okay? We did that last time. I went a little too off hinged. I need to calm down.
Yeah.
At least Okada's still working.
And what do you mean by that one? I mean, that could be taken in a lot of different tones. That could almost be on a personal level there.
We need to stay on air. We just got a new partnership. We need to stay on air.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the greatest quote in the last 26 minutes, Grim of Grim's Toy Shows said, I think JD from NY206 has more heat than any heel wrestling business right now. So much he's even got Tony Khan selling for him. What a time to be alive. What?
I mean, if JD's opinions are more work than his belief, he sells like a mother.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he's good at his job. I toast JD if that's the case.
But if JD's being honest and it's just Tony Khan getting that upset, that, I mean, that's even more crazy. A businessman that has billions of dollars is worried about what one little YouTuber on podcast. Now, granted, JD has a huge following.
Tony Khan always gets Tonys in a bunch.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, last night was a blast. Raw was a decent show. You had high points in the beginning, kind of flattened in the middle there. They got to revitalize their tag team division. They got to get people back into that. You brought back World Raiders. You brought in the Motor City Machine Guns. Let's get people back behind these tag team divisions. Yes, I know they're fighting in a tournament for a tag team title, but it still just kind of feels mid. There wasn't a lot of excitement for these tag team matches. We need to get tag team wrestling back on point because, ladies and gentlemen, there's some great tag teams that are up and coming in the world of professional wrestling. Because, I mean, even in SPW, I can name off some of the best tag teams you're going to see on the independent scene. We can talk about the Dart Fox Illuminates buddies, the Appeal, Nathan Brick and Jason Xavier, two talented men that tore down the house, got a big win over THC, the Honor Society. We, yes. Then you can go down and talk about the Honor Society, SPW Tag Team Champions, 20 years of honor. Go with honor. Huge, big deal last night. Sir Samurai and the Force of Nature himself, Drake Frost, retaining those tag team titles in an amazing, awesome match. And, of course, the upcoming, the new Bucks, the debuting, we won't call them Bucks because I don't want to discourage them and compare them to tampons. But
yeah, don't do that.
The young, talented Bryce Kuza, Aiden Andrew, the all-day crew are going to show the professional wrestling world why they can go all day and probably all night long. SPW, ladies and gentlemen, I can't tell you. I went from a SmackDown show at the end of September that was lit and on fire to an AEW show just a few days ago that was miserable to sit through, to an SPW show that sold out the house to standing room only from pillar to post. They were packed in there like sardines. This place was lit. This place was on fire all night long. The crowd stayed alive. The chants throughout the night. Everybody was loved, top to bottom. Scoot said it on his Scoop with Scoot. If you want to go check out that one, a very special one, a 20th anniversary Honor Society edition. We got to talk with the Scooty Booty man himself, Scoot Robertson, the sexy grandpa, Sir Samurai, and of course the big band, the Force of Nature, Jake Frost, all participating in the Scoop with Scoot this week. What a magical time. What a magical story. And not only did they talk about 20 years of Honor Society, they started to mention that in April, the fourth Sunday in April, because the third is Easter, the third is WrestleMania weekend. No, ladies and gentlemen, the fourth Sunday in April is going to be the biggest party you're going to see in California, from Shasta Mountain all the way down to the Death Valley Basin, because it's going to be the 25th anniversary show of SPW. And I don't care if you're over there sitting on a dock in the bay or up in the biggest little city in the world of Reno, you need to come down, and we need to swarm that weekend, the fourth Sunday of April, on Elk Grove, California, and Supreme Pro Wrestling's 25th anniversary show. Going to be the biggest event in SPW history. It's going to blow it out of the water, and me, and the big man right here, are going to have so much to do with it. We've got so much exciting stuff that's coming to this channel. I promise you, we're going to give you a deep dive into SPW history so you can get excited as we are about everything that's going to go down. Will the Dark Fox Illuminate still be the reigning, defending, undisputed champion? Will he have cemented his name as the longest running SPW champion by that 25th anniversary show? That could be huge. Where will the all-day crew be? Where will the Honor Society be as they celebrate 25 years of SPW history? SPW, 25 years. Been around
You heard it from
for a long, long time.
You've heard it from everybody last night. Everybody wants that main event spot for the anniversary show.
Oh,
So the build alone sells the tickets.
Samurai stood in the middle of the ring and called that spot. Scoop got on the Scoop with us. The Scoop with Scoot, which turned into the Scoop with Sexy Grandpa. He called for it. And I'm sure the big man, Drake Frost, wants it. I'm sure everybody wants it. What are we going to get? Are we going to get a four-way? Or are we going to get a six-way? What type of match are we going to get in the main event of the 25th anniversary show of SPW? Who could possibly show up? Because it's the biggest event in the history. I mean, we could talk the names. Scoop gave you a lot of those names. Samurai gave you a lot of those names. Through the history, there are names like a Timothy Thatcher, a Shotzi, even EC3 has been through those hallowed halls of SPW. Brian Cage, Hayashi, and people that are showing up more regularly at Ring of Honor and even AEW have come through the hallowed halls of SPW. And hell, the biggest legend in extreme wrestling, former one half of the Gangsters, Mustafa Saeed, there. Last night showed up to team up with the man from outer space, the underdog from another planet, Anthony Nova. They teamed up in an amazing match, even though that looked like Mustafa used Nova more as a tool than as a partner, but that's okay. Throwing him around to keep the other guys down. It was an amazing time. I mean, there was so much. I don't know what you people are doing. If you're not coming to an SPW show, what are you doing? And of course, we got to get our minds right. We got to get our time set. We got to get ready, because not this Saturday, but the very next Saturday, November 2nd, it's back to Ramble Warriors Championship Wrestling. The Value Wrestling will be there. We'll be there with Chima. Chima and the High Council is supposed to be in action at this show. But what happened to SPW? Will that carry over? Will we see something? Will they have made peace? Will Dante Daring and the one and only Chima, the Bujambi Lion, the big man, who we so much love? Chima has been so great to us. We just love Chima. We can't, we give him a hard time, but he loves it, and we love him. Chima's one of our favorites down there.
Yeah.
Of course, Mr. Z won't say anything bad about him anyways.
No. I was looking at the chops he was delivering last night. Gave me nightmares. Okay, it gives me flashbacks. Yeah,
Flashback.
Ladies and gentlemen, I
I
don't know
don't
what
need that.
I don't know what would have been more entertaining, the action in the ring when Illumide took on that freak Jekyll's, or the faces that me and Mr. Z were making when Illumide would hit a chop and Jekyll's would hit an elbow. He was wincing, I was wincing. We were both just ready to curl under the table and hide because the flashbacks and the memories of the attacks or the chops. I mean, it was lit. Illumide laying in the chops on Jekyll's. Jekyll's laying in those elbows, ready to take off the Dark Fox's head. Illumide, oh my. Good God Almighty.
They had the fans on their feet for the entire main event.
They had to
one
move.
was sitting down.
They had to move the fans out of the way. You can see it on camera. They had to move fans out of the way because they did such a dive and a moonsault off there. And Jesus, good Lord, Illumide and that moonsault was beautiful. I mean, even Jekyll's, and I hate to give Jekyll's any credit, came off with some amazing moves, but Illumide hit a beautiful moonsault. That was just impressive. This man, ladies and gentlemen, come to SPW because you want to see Illumide, the Dark Fox. Go look at the interview here. The Obsidian Adonis was on this channel. We sat down with him. He told you, you know people, and then you know people. People know you, and you know people, and all that good stuff. You need to know this man. This man is a future name that's going to be in the professional wrestling, and it's not going to be long before he's on that next step. I can tell you, once he drops this SPW, once somebody finally can take him down, this man is probably going to move along and be one of those big names, whether it's in a TNA ring or a GCW ring or a AEW or even a WWE. Hey, Sean Hunter, you need to come to an SPW show and see this man, Illumide. He needs to be on NXT, not today, but yesterday. That was the match for you guys to be there. You should, WWE needed to send somebody. You need to send somebody to WWE or to SPW and watch this man in action. If you're looking for scouting, this is a man that needs to be signed to an NXT contract. This is a man.
And it was too. He was telling his family when I went to take a picture with this man, these are the guys that did this interview. He acknowledged our presence there. He was happy that we were there and that we gave him the platform to get his voice out there. And he's not going to be around for very long, folks. I mean, look how long Jeff Cobb was there. He's gone. Thatcher was there. He's gone. JL Kratos, he's gone. I mean, just all Shotzi Blackheart, all these names that were there, folks, you need to get down there and watch these shows.
Ladies and gentlemen, a dark match on Raw taking place right now, or at least right before Raw went off. Jacob Fatu and Cody Rhodes tying it up in a Philly street fight. That is a banger of a match that is sad they're not having on TV yet, but we're going to get that very soon, I'm sure. Speaking of Philadelphia, tomorrow night, NXT, in the infamous world renowned when it comes to professional wrestling, they are going into the Howell Halls, and when you see a video vignette where Shawn, the Heartbreak Kid Michaels, is putting over one of the most historic buildings, and gosh, I don't think I've ever heard Shawn Michaels ever talk about three letters like ECW. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, NXT is going into the 2300 building, the infamous, the Howell Halls, the ECW arena tomorrow night for NXT. Get excited for that. That is going to be Unchained, Unhooked.
Now, I've seen photos of people that have walked that building. They have a giant ECW mural there that you can't help but stop and just embrace the fact that so many great events happen there from them. I mean, yeah, I just want to go check out this building just for the namesake alone.
One day we'll do a whole tour of that building. We'll put it right here on the channel. We're going to take everybody with us when we get to that point where we can go to the 2300 building, when we can go to the ECW arena and step into the most Howell Halls of professional wrestling. There's only a few houses. There's only a few buildings. There's a few temples when it comes to the religion of professional wrestling that every wrestling fan wants to step into. whether it be Madison Square Gardens in New York, whether you're a big fan of the old way of WWF and WWWF, everybody at one point in their time was least would love and dreams of standing into the hollow grounds of Madison Square Gardens. Most people wanted a chance to stand in the Omni. What a legendary hall. Few have been able to stand in the most sacred Howard halls in California when you talk about the Cow Palace. And then down in Texas at the arena that the Von Erichs built, home to USWA down there, the legendary Dallas arena. And of course,
Yes.
the infamous ECW, the Howell Halls, the ECW arena. And if it's up to me and the big man, Mr. Z, we're going to make that SPW arena feel like it's just that sacred. Because, ladies and gentlemen, SPW, I'm telling you, don't sleep on SPW. Don't sleep on the Value Wrestling. Don't sleep on SPW. Mr. Clarke, drop your dime.
Yes.
Mr. Z, just out of curiosity, it's not the same as the rest of the wrestling fans. Would you ever be interested in making a trip, just for nostalgia's sake, to Boyle Heights?
Oh yeah. Why not? Oh, just a small little piece of Lucha Underground. Just a little history.
Exactly.
Well, and
The
then
names that came out of there, and when they were at their peak, I'm all for it.
well, I think we also forgot some of the biggest names in foreign arenas. I mean, we can't forget the Tokyo Fukuda Hall and all the places over there. I mean, the big arenas in Tokyo where they've performed in massive crowds.
Well, shit, you can tell it's the Tokyo Dome.
Yes.
One day,
And of course,
one day, the Rebound Podcast will take that trip.
and of course, one day we'll get Mr. Clarke to go to the arena where the biggest wrestling event was ever shown. Yes, we will send him directly to North Korea.
Oh,
No.
no, don't do that to him.
Trying to get me killed? Jeez.
I had to.
I'm still an American no matter what I look like, okay? I know my heritage technically should be able to pass, but they say, "Oh, you an American? You die."
Yeah,
Paul would be
Yeah,
Paul would be Korean so far. I'm very Korean. Korean, I know. Oh yes.
I'm gonna Google Translate
man.
real quick.
Paul would change accents and everything he needed faster than Kamala Harris. That's a fact.
Ooh.
Hey, that's not being political. That woman's gone on TV and her accent's changed more than not. Anybody who disclaims that is a whole, I don't know what to tell you. If you haven't seen her at all these different press conferences with these slight different accents, that doesn't have anything to do with political. She just does it. That's just a fact.
Oh, it's so funny. And on that note, folks.
Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow morning, Tuesday, is the New Japan Pro Wrestling Rebound podcast right here on the Value Wrestling. That will be up on the channel tomorrow morning, ready for you all to go. Tune in, check it out. Mr. Z breaks it all down. New Japan Pro Wrestling, the Royal Quest 4 took place last night. A big event, some amazing matches. Mr. Z is excited about it, and he's excited to tell you all about it. It's going to be lit like Christmas dinner on Christmas Eve. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's good stuff. Wednesdays, we should see in Martin We Trust with Jane AI Bot returns to the channel. Friday, we will be back with the SmackDown review show. Saturday, you're going to get another week in professional wrestling. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, you can tell I'm no longer wearing the neck brace. I've got the all clear from the doctor. I should be just fine as long as I take it easy and don't get in any more ring or any more confrontations. So we'll have to keep Mr. Z on the outside so nobody can get to me. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start getting you ready because the third Sunday of every month is SPW. November 2nd, it's Realm of Warriors Championship Wrestling. Somewhere in the midst of time, we're going to wait for West Coast Designs. And ladies and gentlemen, if you need some artwork done, some posters, if you want title belts made, you need to go check out West Coast Designs. And as soon as he gives me some commercials and more information, we're going to put that out to you. But go check out West Ghost Designs. Check them out on Instagram. That's the #1 place. They can be found on Twitter and Facebook, but check them out. Follow them. They're a big supporter and fan of the Value Wrestling. We thank you very much, sir, West Coast Designs, for everything you do for us, helping us get over, inviting you to the shows. We're ready for the next Collectible Stampede show, which is going to be a lot of fun. We got a lot of great ideas for that. Yeah. SPW, Rebel Warrior Championship Wrestling. We are busy men, and busy men will be busy. And if you don't know, there's a lot of things going on in the California realm of independent wrestling. Joe Henry, they've been screaming his name in California. He went from Roseville, California to Atwater, California, all the way down to LA today, making the tours of the Golden State. Coming up this Friday in Roseville, you can catch up with Kayla Braxton and WWE legend Melina, as they're going to be at Barrios Toys in Roseville, California. Go check all that out on the page.
Mr. Big Time, does that sound like a trip we might need to make?
Do you want to put your Do you really want to put your money in the mouth and go tasty toes in the moment? Is that a safe step?
I'll sit right here.
I thought so. I just, hey, no.
But here's the deal. I don't think you're going to see Kayla Braxton. You might see Kayla Becker.
Kayla Becker, yes. Kayla Becker, formerly known as Kayla Braxton, but yes, it'll be Kayla Becker.
There you go.
Becker. Yeah. Tongue tied. So many names. Anyways.
Becker.
Kayla Becker and Melina are both going to be at Barrios Toys in Roseville, California. I believe it's Friday the 25th. The 25th should be a Friday, if I'm getting that day right. Yes, it is. So if you're going to be up there in Roseville, check it out.
Yes.
Will me and Mr. Z be there? Probably not. We got to pick our battles. We have another show next weekend, which is more important. And then we got to stay pretty ready and available for any other shows that may pop up along the way. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the Value of Wrestling is your new home for SPW action. All SPW events and live action is going to be right here. SPW has their own YouTube channel. Go check that out to catch up with the history. Eventually, you may see video footage on both ends. So, working together, it's called working as a family. We are so happy, so blessed. Thank you to everybody, SPW, from the people who make all that stuff go, to every one of the big name superstars there, whether it's Guapolupe, our buddy Daniel Torch, good old the Punjabi Lion Chima, the Appeal again, Jason Xavier and Nathan Brick, and of course Jack Tracy, now a part of that, and of course the champion, the big man, the man who's shining bright, a bright star, the Dark Fox Illuminate, the Obsidian Adonis, Drake Frost, Eliza Hammer, Sir Samurai, Scoot Robertson, better known as Honor Society. So much love to them.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
I don't know either, Alexa. You need to shut up and know your place. I don't need you right now. And then you got Aiden, Andrew, Bryce Kuza, the all-day crew showing up bright. Kaya, there's so many other names. Anthony Nova, our big buddy. How can we ever forget about the metal mechanic himself? He did an interview for the channel before the show. Bobby Callahan, sorry. There's Rex Calhoun, and Bobby Callahan. We got to get all the names right. It's a lot. It's a mouthful. We appreciate everybody. Everybody's there. We're having a fun time. We love it. We are blessed. Humble. Stay humble. Be humble. Go with honor. Gentlemen.
Very humble.
Gentlemen, tell them what you need to tell them before we go out of here.
Good night, folks.
Have a good night.
And go with honor, yes.